Biker gang leader stops for a hot dog. Then notices something wrong at the park bench. The golden afternoon sun filtered through the oak trees at Riverside Park, casting dappled shadows across the playground. 5 Harley-Davidsons rumbled into the parking lot, their chrome gleaming in the warm light. The Iron Sons had just finished a long charity ride, and their stomachs were growling. Marcus "Hawk" Hawkins, the club's president, killed his engine and stretched his legs. His leather vest bore the club's patch, a fierce eagle with spread wings. Behind him, his brothers dismounted: Tommy, Bear, Snake, and young Riley, the newest member. "Hot dogs on me," Hawk announced, pointing toward the food cart near the playground. "Been dreaming about Jerry's chili dogs for the last 50 miles. The bikers formed an imposing line at the cart, their presence drawing nervous glances from some parents while others nodded in friendly recognition. The Iron Sons were known in this neighborhood, not as troublemakers, but as the crew who volunteered at the community center and escorted kids to school during the gang violence spike last year. As Jerry piled on the toppings, Hawk's attention drifted across the park. Years of military service had taught him to read situations, to notice when something felt off. And right now, something felt very off. On a bench near the far edge of the playground, partially hidden by a cluster of bushes, sat a small girl, maybe 8 or 9 years old. She wore a pink backpack and clutched a stuffed rabbit tightly to her chest. Beside her sat a man in his 40s, thin and nervous-looking, with a mustache and dark hair. He was leaning in close, talking rapidly, his hand gripping the girl's wrist. The girl's body language screamed distress. Her shoulders were hunched, her face turned away, and even from this distance, Hawk could see she was trying to pull back. "Hey, Jerry, hold that order," Hawk said quietly, his eyes never leaving the bench. Tommy followed his gaze. "That don't look right, boss." "No, it doesn't." Hawk started walking, his long strides eating up the distance. His brothers fell in behind him without a word, forming a loose formation that looked casual but was anything but. As they approached, Hawk caught fragments of the conversation. The man's voice was urgent, almost pleading. "Told you not to tell anyone. This is our secret, remember? If you say anything, your mother will be very upset with you." The little girl shook her head, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I don't want to. Please, Mr. Kapoor, I want to go home." "Hey there." Hawk's voice cut through the tension like a blade. Deep and authoritative, it carried the weight of someone who expected to be obeyed. The man, Mr. Kapoor, jerked upright, his hand releasing the girl's wrist. His face flushed with a mixture of anger and fear. "This is a private conversation. Move along." Hawk stopped 10 feet away, his brothers spreading out in a semicircle. "Didn't look private to me. Looked like the young lady wanted to leave, and you were stopping her." "I'm her teacher," Kapoor snapped, standing up. "I'm having a parent-teacher discussion with my student. Not that it's any of your business." "Teacher?" Hawk's eyes narrowed. He looked at the girl whose face had transformed with hope the moment the bikers arrived. "Sweetheart, is this your teacher?" The girl nodded, wiping her tears. "Mr. Kapoor, he's my math teacher. And do your mom or dad know you're here with him right now?" She shook her head frantically. "No. He said he needed to talk to me about my grades, but he's been saying weird things, and he keeps asking me to come to his apartment, and he tries to touch." "That's enough." Kapoor's voice rose sharply. "She's lying. She's a troubled child with behavior problems. I was trying to help her." "Help her?" Bear, the largest of the group, took a step forward. His voice was a low rumble. "By grabbing her wrist? By meeting her alone in a park?" Tommy already had his phone out. "I'm calling the cops." Kapoor's composure cracked. Sweat beaded on his forehead. "You're making a terrible mistake. I have rights. You can't just—" "Sit down," Hawk commanded. "It wasn't a request. You're going to wait right here until the police arrive. And if you try to run, you won't make it 10 feet. The teacher's eyes darted between the 5 imposing bikers. His shoulders sagged and he sank back onto the bench, his hands trembling. Hawk crouched down to the girl's eye level, his weathered face softening. "What's your name, honey?" "Emma," she whispered. "Emma, you're safe now. These are my brothers, and we're going to make sure nothing bad happens to you. Can you tell me, has he done this before?" Emma nodded, fresh tears spilling down her cheeks. "For 3 weeks. He kept me after class. He said if I told anyone, he'd make sure my mom lost her job. My mom works at the school cafeteria. He said nobody would believe me anyway." Rage, cold and controlled, flooded through Hawk's chest. He'd seen too much evil in his life, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in the dark corners of American cities. But nothing triggered him quite like someone hurting a child. "You did the right thing, telling us," he said gently, "and we believe you." Within minutes, 2 police cruisers pulled into the park, lights flashing. Officers emerged, hands on their weapons, clearly expecting trouble from the biker gang. But Tommy quickly explained the situation, and the lead officer's demeanor changed immediately. "Mr. Kapoor," Officer Martinez recognized him. "You're a teacher at Roosevelt Elementary?" Kapoor tried to regain his composure. "Yes, and these men have assaulted me and are preventing me from leaving. I want them arrested." "Nobody touched you," Snake interjected, holding up his phone. "And I've got the whole conversation on video, including you threatening this little girl." The officer's jaw tightened. "Mr. Kapoor, I'm going to need you to come with us for questioning. Emma, can you tell me what happened?" As Emma recounted her story, the inappropriate comments, the after-school detentions where he'd touch her shoulders and back, the constant pressure to keep secrets, Kapoor's face grew paler. When the officer asked to check his phone, he refused. That refusal, combined with Emma's detailed account, was enough. "Mr. Rahul Kapoor, you're under arrest for child harassment and attempted enticement of a minor." The cuffs clicked shut around his wrists. As he was led away, he shot a venomous look at the bikers, but Hawk just stared back, unmoved. "Where's your mom, Emma?" Officer Martinez asked gently. "She's working. Her shift ends at 5. We'll call her right now." 20 minutes later, a small sedan screeched into the parking lot, and a woman in a cafeteria uniform burst out, her face streaked with panic and tears. "Emma!" The little girl ran into her mother's arms, both of them sobbing. The woman, Sarah, as she introduced herself, couldn't stop thanking the officers, but when she turned to the bikers, she completely broke down. "You saved her," she choked out, grabbing Hawk's calloused hands. "Oh, God, you saved my baby. I had no idea. He seemed so professional, so kind. How did I not see—" Hey, Hawk said softly. "You're a good mom. These predators are experts at hiding. What matters is Emma's safe now, and she's got a brave mama who believes her." Sarah wiped her eyes, noticing Emma's torn backpack and worn shoes. In that moment, Hawk saw the whole picture. A single mother working minimum wage, struggling to make ends meet, doing everything she could to give her daughter a good life. And some monster had tried to steal that child's innocence. Hawk pulled out his wallet and handed Sarah a card. "This is the number for our club's emergency fund. We help families in the community. I want you to call this number tomorrow." "I can't accept charity," Sarah said, though her voice wavered. "It's not charity, it's family helping family. Emma's going to need counseling after this. That costs money, and you might need to take time off work. Let us help." Sarah's resistance crumbled. She nodded, clutching the card like a lifeline. The next day, Hawk personally delivered an envelope to Sarah's apartment. Inside was $3,000 in cash, money the Iron Sons had collected from their Brotherhood Fund, plus Hawk's own contribution. "For therapy, for bills, for whatever Emma needs," he said simply. "And Sarah? You take care of that little girl. She's got the spirit of a fighter. She told you, even when she was scared. That takes courage." "I will," Sarah promised, tears flowing again. "I'll protect her with everything I have." As Hawk walked back to his Harley, Emma ran out of the apartment. "Mr. Hawk, wait!" He turned and she threw her arms around his waist, hugging him tight. Thank you for believing me." Hawk's eyes misted, something that rarely happened. He patted her head gently. "Always trust your instincts, Emma. If something feels wrong, it probably is, and there are good people in this world who will listen." 2 weeks later, the local news reported that Rahul Kapoor had been formally charged with multiple counts of child harassment and attempted enticement. 2 other students came forward with similar stories. He was fired immediately and faced up to 15 years in prison. The Iron Sons didn't make the news. They didn't want credit. They went back to their regular lives, fixing bikes, working their jobs, riding on weekends, but Sarah and Emma never forgot. Every month, Sarah volunteered at the Iron Sons charity events. Emma grew up determined to become a police officer, inspired by the bikers who had stepped in when she needed heroes. And Hawk? He kept stopping at Riverside Park for hot dogs. But now, he always watched the benches, the corners, the quiet spots where predators might lurk. Because real heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes they wear leather and ride Harleys. And they're always watching. If you ever see something that doesn't feel right, trust your gut and speak up. One moment of courage can save a life. If this story moved you, hit subscribe for more true stories of courage, compassion, and everyday heroes. Your support helps us share real human moments where good triumphs over evil. Like, share, and turn on notifications, because these stories need to be told.